I'll admit it, I used to be skeptical. I'd hear churchgoers talk about the end times, about prophecies in the book of Revelation. I'd see their concern about the direction of the world. Part of me admired their conviction, but another part of me, the skeptical part, wondered if they weren't getting a little carried away. I questioned their interpretations of ancient scriptures. Did they really apply to our modern world? Were things truly as dire as they believed? I wasn't so sure. I preferred to focus on the here and now, on tangible solutions to everyday problems. Then the world started to shift. Events unfolded that echoed the very warnings I'd heard in church. The ground beneath my feet, the ground of my skepticism, began to tremble. Could they be right? Had they seen something I hadn't? It was unsettling, this creeping feeling that maybe, just maybe, there was more to their words than I'd given them credit for. This wasn't just about fire and brimstone. This was about recognizing patterns, understanding the times, and acknowledging a bigger picture I'd been overlooking. I began to delve deeper into the texts, trying to understand the context and the meanings behind the words. I engaged in discussions, listened to different perspectives, and slowly my skepticism began to wane. I started to see connections I had previously dismissed, patterns that seemed too coincidental to ignore. The more I observed the world around me, the more I saw the parallels to the prophecies I once doubted. It was a crossroads for me, a moment of decision. Would I continue to doubt, or would I open my mind to the possibility that there was truth in those ancient words? I chose to seek understanding, to find a balance between skepticism and belief. And in that journey I found a sense of peace, a deeper connection to the world and its mysteries. My confession is not just about doubt, but about the transformation that comes when we allow ourselves to question, to explore, and to grow. In the end, it's not about being right or wrong, but about the journey of understanding and the connections we make along the way. And that, perhaps, is the greatest revelation of all. My journey to understanding didn't begin in a church. It began with a single step, opening my heart to the possibility of something more. I realized that faith isn't confined to pews and stained glass. It's a deeply personal experience, a connection forged in the quiet spaces of our own hearts. God doesn't require us to sit in a certain building or follow a rigid set of rules. He seeks a relationship with us, a conversation that transcends physical boundaries. He speaks to us in the rustle of leaves, the laughter of children, the quiet moments of reflection. I learned that true faith is about opening ourselves to His presence in every aspect of our lives. It's about recognizing His hand in the beauty around us, the challenges we overcome, and the love that binds us together. It's about understanding that we are never alone, that even in the darkest of times, His light shines brightly within us. As I delved deeper into the book of Revelation, a new layer of understanding began to unfold. The ancient texts, often dismissed as mere allegory or religious prophecy, began to reveal a profound connection to the events and dynamics of our contemporary world. The words, once shrouded in mystery, started to resonate with the realities of our modern world. Each verse seemed to echo the headlines of today, as if the ancient scribes had foreseen the complexities and challenges we now face. I saw how the pursuit of power and greed, themes woven throughout the book, were mirrored in the actions of some of the world's most influential figures. The opulent thrones and symbols of authority described in the text were not just relics of the past, but reflections of the power structures that dominate our society today. The relentless pursuit of wealth and control, the insatiable desire to accumulate more at the expense of others, was a recurring theme. This drive for material gain, often at the cost of ethical considerations, was a stark reminder of the warnings embedded in the ancient scriptures. The manipulation of systems for personal gain, the strategic moves made behind closed doors, were all too familiar. These shadowy figures, pulling the strings of global events, seemed to be enacting a script written long ago. The disregard for the well-being of others, these echoes of ancient warnings, were now playing out on a global scale. The faceless masses, pushed aside by those in power, were a testament to the enduring relevance of these ancient texts. The book of Revelation wasn't just a historical document, it was a mirror reflecting the darkest impulses of the human heart, impulses that transcended time and place. The stormy skies and ominous reflections were not just metaphors but stark realities we face today. It spoke of a world where the elite, driven by insatiable greed, would stop at nothing to maintain their grip on power. These secretive meetings, the knowing glances exchanged, were not just scenes from a dystopian novel, but real-life events shaping our world. It warned of a time when truth would be obscured, when deception would reign. The foggy glass, the struggle to see clearly, was a powerful metaphor for the misinformation and half-truths that cloud our understanding today. And when the voices of the many would be silenced by the will of the few, the powerful force drowning out dissenting voices was a chilling reminder of the control exerted by those in power. This wasn't about conspiracy theories, it was about recognizing patterns, connecting the dots, and acknowledging the uncomfortable truth that some were operating with an agenda that served themselves, not the greater good. The intricate web of connections and symbols illustrated the complexity of the hidden agendas at play, urging us to look beyond the surface and question the narratives presented to us. History, as they say, often repeats itself. The parallels between past and present were undeniable, reminding us that the lessons of the Book of Revelation are not confined to the past, but are warnings for the present and future. The cyclical nature of power and corruption, the rise and fall of empires, and the enduring struggle for truth and justice were all encapsulated in these ancient texts. Yet, amidst the darkness, there was also a message of hope. The Book of Revelation spoke of a time when people would come together, transcending divisions, to challenge the status quo and strive for a better world. This vision of unity and collective action was a beacon of hope, reminding us that change is possible if we stand together. As the sun rises after the darkest night, so too can we find a new beginning. The ancient texts, with their profound insights and timeless warnings, offer us a roadmap to navigate the complexities of our world. By understanding and heeding these lessons, we can work towards a future where power is balanced with compassion and where the well-being of all is prioritized over the greed of a few. Section 4. The Devil's Deceptions. The Book of Revelation doesn't shy away from the reality of evil. It confronts it head-on, painting a vivid picture of the malevolent forces that seek to undermine the good in the world. This ancient text serves as a stark reminder that evil is not just a concept, but a tangible force that can manifest in various forms. It speaks of a cunning deceiver, a master manipulator who preys on our weaknesses and tempts us with empty promises. This deceiver is not just a figure of myth, but a representation of the very real temptations and challenges we face in our daily lives. He whispers in the ears of the power-hungry, fueling their greed and ambition. These whispers are not always loud or obvious. They can be subtle, planting seeds of doubt and desire that grow over time. He sows seeds of discord and division, turning hearts against one another. This division can be seen in families, communities, and even nations, where once strong bonds are broken by mistrust and conflict. His influence is subtle, insidious, often disguised as something alluring and desirable. What seems like a harmless indulgence or a small compromise can lead us down a path of destruction. He promises wealth and power, but delivers only emptiness and despair. The allure of material success and the pursuit of power can leave us feeling hollow and unfulfilled. He offers temporary pleasure, but exacts a heavy price in the end. The fleeting moments of joy or satisfaction are often followed by long-term consequences that we may not foresee. Recognizing his tactics is crucial. By understanding how he operates, we can better guard ourselves against his deceptions and protect our hearts and minds. He thrives in darkness, in the shadows of doubt and fear. When we are uncertain or afraid, we are most vulnerable to his influence. He wants us to believe we are alone, powerless to resist his influence. This sense of isolation can make us feel hopeless and more likely to give in to temptation. But we are not defenseless. The teachings of the Bible provide us with the tools and the strength to stand against these forces. We have within us the power to choose love over hate, truth over deception, and faith over fear. These choices are not always easy, but they are essential in our fight against evil. The battle against evil is not fought with weapons of war, but with the strength of our convictions, the unwavering belief in a power greater than ourselves, and the courage to stand firm in our faith, even when surrounded by darkness. It is a battle that requires constant vigilance, a commitment to our values, and the support of our community. Together, we can resist the deceptions of the devil and strive towards a world filled with light and goodness. Section 5. Finding clarity in chaos. The world can feel chaotic, overwhelming. We are bombarded with information, much of it designed to instill fear and uncertainty. It's easy to feel lost, adrift in a sea of conflicting narratives and agendas, but amidst the chaos, there is a path to clarity. It begins with turning inward, with seeking a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the grand tapestry of life. It's about recognizing that we are not merely products of our circumstances, but spiritual beings capable of tapping into a power far greater than ourselves. It's about understanding that our lives have meaning and purpose, even when we can't see the full picture. This clarity doesn't come from external sources, from news cycles or social media feeds. It comes from within, from nurturing our connection to the divine and allowing that connection to guide our thoughts, words, and actions. When we align ourselves with a higher purpose, when we choose love over fear and faith over doubt, the chaos begins to subside and a sense of peace washes over us. With love, always, Missy Burgers.